Hey to all those seeking vibrant health. I'm Dr. Rachel Northern, and I'm here in Northern Lake Huron, Johnsburg in my office, and it's the first talk of the year. Yay! I'm so excited to be talking again. And this year I've decided to go through my book, which I will have my lovely assistant. I meant to grab it before we went on to grab it. My book is called Journey to Vibrant Health, and I have it's only a little over 120, I think, pages. Sorry, thank you for that, my lovely assistant. So Journey to Vibrant Health, it is on Amazon. I published this actually a couple of years ago, and I am each month trying to cover a chapter in the book through this year. And I put this book together because I have so many patients come in with different health questions, and I was like repeating myself, and I thought, I should probably put this in a book form, and that way I can say read chapter 5, because I don't have the 10 minutes to explain it right here in the office. So this is going to be our intro chapter we're going to talk about tonight. And it's talking about like a healthy, vibrant you, and it's kind of a little preview of like what the book's about. And of course, my thing was working before I started. Let's see if we'll keep doing this. So, always start out with, what is your definition of health? What do you think health is? And like, really, I want you to pause and think, what does it mean to be healthy to you? So I did this with a patient, actually just like not even 30 minutes or so ago, maybe. And she said, well, feeling well. And that is feeling good is ding, 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 the number one answer that comes across when you ask people this question you just walk up to anybody in the street, they say feeling good. That means they're healthy. Well, I teach patients that feeling good is only a portion of our nervous system. So feelings is only 10 to 15%. Sensory is only 10% of our nervous system. So there's a whole like 85+% that we do not feel. And so we cannot determine we are healthy or not. Feeling good is not a good, full, complete thing. Yes, healthy people feel good, but unhealthy people can feel good too. And in the 18 years I've been in practice, I've had a multitude of people come in, either, them themselves or a family member said they were fine, they had no problems. The next thing they know, they had maybe some discomfort and they have terminal cancer and they're gone in 3 months. This is a common occurrence in our culture, unfortunately. We do know that 25% of our country dies from heart disease. So 1 out of 4 people die of heart disease. And sometimes people don't make it past that first symptoms of the chest pain. That is like they're gone. They have the chest pain and they're gone. So they had something lingering before that, accumulating, but they didn't feel it. So, we'll go a little bit more explaining that. So another thing is not being, a lot of people say, well, not being in pain, not having symptoms. And yeah, again, that's healthy people shouldn't have symptoms. And I have a lot of people that drop out of care once they get out of pain as a chiropractor. And that's fine, it's your body, it's up to you. But a lot of times I never got the chance to strengthen or help them get strengthened around that joint so they will feel better after a couple adjustments. We kind of get the pressure off the nervous system. It's communicating, pain goes away, but it's still weak in that area. And so sometimes they come back 6 months later, a year later, like I'm back, the same symptom, because we didn't address all the underlying components. That other 80% didn't get addressed and completely healed. So I'm about evolution and continue to get better or focus on weaker areas and constantly working on that. So again, it's a journey. So the other thing is, some people say they don't like even care about pain at all, but they want to be able to do what they want to do. So they want to be able to golf, they want to be able to play with their grandkids or their kids. They want to do certain things, activities, and that's great. So that's functioning. So we're getting a little closer to that answer, like they want to be able to function and move and do things, but there's all these other aspects of that. So the next one is, our culture. Our culture's definition of like health is band-aiding. So we say, yeah, you do have pain, and I treat the cause of pain. So you have a nerve that's got pressure on it. I remove the interference on the nerve. The body's healthy about, it takes the cause of the pain. Now, in our culture, it's like, well, take a pill or a potion, or headaches are normal, so just take a pill because headaches are normal, or like they say, I think 25% of Americans suffer from back pain at any given time. And we know as chiropractors, we can address the cause and help 75% of those people. Some people go to the emergency room and get an opioid or a painkiller, and that just band-aids it, and it perpetuates more problems in the future. So, our culture is to shut the signal down, either take a medicine, cut it, burn it, poison it. And sometimes that is needed. I'm not saying it's not, but we need to address the cause of the problem. That's what I do as a holistic practitioner. So, being unhealthy is the common social norm now. So we have 33rd of Americans are obese, which means they're severely overweight to the point they know it's going to cause heart disease, diabetes, and problems in their lives. But this is becoming a normal. Like, that's okay. It's not okay if you're not healthy. Just because everybody's that way doesn't make it okay. And that's becomes like just accepted that being unhealthy is okay. So that's not okay with me as a holistic wellness doctor. And we're also told we're not in control of our health. So we don't have a choice. It's just like your body just goes crazy at times, and you just, have to take a drug or a potion or a lotion or whatever you need to do. And that is not true as well. A lot of these things that we have presented in our society are lifestyle problems. Like, it's controlling what we put in our mouth. We know if we eat too much high fructose corn syrup, if we know we have too much sugar, we know over time we're gonna have diabetes because your pancreas can only do so much. It only has a limited supply of insulin it's gonna make at a certain period of time, and if you keep abusing that, you're gonna cause disease. So that's self-induced. You have control of that. So there's been plenty of patients that come into my office and they make lifestyle choices. They change their diet, they start moving around, they do exercise, and they get better. And they actually can go off medications because they are taking control of their health and taking control of the body. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, we have genetics. We have hiccups in our genes. And myself, I have a hiccup on gluten. So I know I can't have gluten. I'll have symptoms if I have gluten. I did genetic testing. I know this is part of my genes, but I know this about myself, and I know not to stress that gene in my body. So I know I don't have control of how my genetic makeup was, but I have control of how I'm going to treat my body and how I'm going to take care of my body. So there is control involved that we can take hold of. Also today, I've had this in the last couple of weeks. People are like, I wish I could just create a drug to make me motivated to exercise or motivated to eat healthy. And it's like, that's unfortunately not how it works. You have to find a leverage, momentum, figure out your personality and what's going to help you get from A to Z. Set some goals. I'm not big about this time of year. It used to be New Year's resolutions, and we're going to be in the year, and that kind of went away a couple of years ago. And so I'm like, well, what do you want to see this year? And how are you going to get there? Because I asked the patient earlier today about that, about like, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to see this year in your health? And they're like, well, I want to move around more. And I'm like, okay, so define that, because that can mean anything. Like, everybody likes to put this glossy thing, and I want to move around more. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, walking, I want a number, because anytime we put anything that's generalized, it's not going to happen. You're like buckshotting at anything. So the more focused you say, I'm like getting up and moving on your lunch break, walking 10 minutes on your lunch break, like give me some defined stuff. So people don't like to commit to that, because then they know then they're speaking it, so they kind of need to not be liars of themselves, and people don't want to. So that's why we generalize things sometimes. So I'm telling you, be more specific. Try to lay something out. What do you want to be at the end of this year? How can you be healthier? Make specific things, write them down. Even myself, I have these things. My goal is to work out 3 times a week. I hired a trainer 2 months ago to help motivate me or kick my butt to help me, get me into gear, because I was starting to kind of slack off on my own self-care exercise. So find whatever avenues that you can to get you there. And there's tons of apps, there's tons of things that can help you with this, with eating better, with moving better. So I don't like those excuses, because we got tons of resources in our society right now. So let's see here, we're gonna do the next slide. So the definition of health that I have in the book is, and I have Vibrant Health. Health is vibrant physical, mental, social, and spiritual functioning and well-being, not just the absence of symptoms or diseases. So it's a multitude of areas. So we have our physical health, which relates to a lot of things. We have our mental health, our social or connected activities, like what support groups do you have in your life? Do you have some best friends? Do you have people that you can confine in or vent to? What's your work environment like? Do you have a support system there? All those kind of things. And spirit, there's research showing people that find themselves spiritual tend to be healthier. People who pray tend to be healthier and happier in their lives. There is some data on that. So I like that all encompassing. And again, there's all these different areas that we can constantly just make sure we're working on. And then the body is self-healing, self-regulating, and constantly adapting. So our bodies, we were born to adapt. We were born to encounter things, get stronger, face it, or we die. That's how humanity's made it this long, this far. So, it's born to be self-healing. You cut your finger, you have these special ridges that are just you for fingerprints. It's your unique self. And you cut your finger, do a paper cut. And it takes a simple paper cut. I've clocked it 7 to 10 days to heal without putting anything on it. It's pretty amazing. And it's amazing how your body knows to put the exact same ridges that were there before you cut yourself right back where it was before. That's like our own special programming we have in our body. That's amazing. And it's not just in our skin, it's in all of our body. So it's pretty powerful. Also, like when you eat something, your body knows exactly how much digestive enzymes to do, how much stomach acid you're supposed to raise, all these different things just to process so we can break down and use that food for energy. So it's amazing, all these processes, again, that we don't feel. We don't think about how, like our heart beats and how we breathe without thinking about it, how many times we breathe, the exchange of oxygen with our blood inside our lungs. I mean, these are amazing processes. We have this amazing pharmacy in our body that it's built to help us and grow. So there's that. So that's what my definition of health is. And general. All right. So like my thing is talking about health is a journey. So it's a process. So there's always work to be done. It's not like if I get to my 3 times a week exercising, like, oh, I made it. I'm at the destination. I'm going to stop working out. You continue on with that, trying to get better and better and tweak, and like I try to get a different variety of exercises in and rotate things around. So it is a constant working on improving. It's a journey, and sometimes you got to take pit stops, and that's okay too. We talk about that later in the book. So we have to evaluate ourselves frequently, taking inventory. So I feel pretty good majority of the time, but I still try to get my blood work done every year, and I go to a functional doctor, and they do all this different detailed blood work, and even though I feel really good, it might signal that I'm kind of maybe a little bit having sugar handling problems or whatever. And with that, then we tweak and give myself the nutrients I need to kind of help my body adapt in that, or herbs that will help my body adapt a little efficiently on that. And the more I take those and be good on my own supplements, the better I continue to feel and thrive and have energy. Also, I get my spine checked and my nervous system checked every 2 weeks. I get a massage once a month because I do repetitive motions with my job, and I know my muscles are getting very sticky and from doing all these different motions. I also get acupuncture to make sure my energy fields, my chi system, or whatever they call it, my meridians are all balanced. To keep them balanced, I do that every 6 to 8 weeks. Like, I have a thing to make sure that I'm functioning, and I'm pretty much the only female in my family that's made it to my age without losing their gallbladder, without being on blood pressure medication or thyroid medication. And that's pretty impressive, and I'm pretty sure it's because since I've graduated chiropractic college, been trying to focus on this journey of health and how to take the best care of this body, this vessel that I have been given, and taking ownership of it. So really, actively, we should be living well, healthily into our 80s and 90s. I've had several patients that have made it past 100. And yeah, they might be frail. One just passed away, 102, and she was 2 weeks shy of her 103rd birthday. And she was driving up till I think 65, still with it. She still was cognitive. Sometimes like they're my superstars that I think of, and like still engaged with her family. And yes, I want to age. Sometimes people are like, well, you get that old, you want to. Well, that's not. You make that choice for yourself, but don't try to like shortchange yourself and your journey. And if you don't take good care of yourself, then those end stages are worse. Like you have more problems, more medications, all these things that they're going to do just to keep you going. So I'd rather be vibrant till the end is my state on that. So actively living, actively investing in the family, and enjoying yourself, enjoying this life. So, and then, you have to make that decision of taking ownership of your body and your health. And let's see, I think I got one more slide. So 2 more slides, I believe. So the book is a summary of this. I talk about taking care of yourself and these aspects. So oxygen we talk about in a chapter, and that's pretty much talking about breathing. We're going to talk about this through the year. We're going to talk about water. We're going to talk about nutrients, supplementation. We're going to talk about exercise and stretching. We're going to talk about rest. And that just doesn't mean like making sure you get your sleep. Our country's in a sleep-deprived epidemic, especially with our young people. We're going to talk about taking vacations or taking a day off once a week, or time throughout a week to make sure you're taking breaks. And nurturing your spirit, your spiritual self, your soul. And, we have lots of different ways we can do those, and we're going to talk about those over the next couple months. And if you guys have any questions or anything else you want me to touch on through this series, feel free to reach out to us at the office. Let me see. I think we got our information here. And when I practiced this, the clicker worked, and it's always funny when we're live and it always goes on. But, I'm human. We have technical problems sometimes, but I'm happy to say our website usually always works. So you can always go on our website, The Doctor in You, so all the words spelled out. You can email us through there, communicate. You also can find some past videos. I talk about all this material in some shape or form and repackaged on my YouTube channel, Dr. Rachel Northern, DC, I believe it's under. And also you can just get the book on Amazon. It's The Journey to Vibrant Health by Dr. Rachel Northern. And like I said, I hope you have a vibrant journey ahead of you.